All right. Hello, hello. Let me make sure we got the microphone working. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, August 14th. Just getting into my settings. That's not what I wanted. Oh, I can't change my settings. That's okay. You should be able to hear me. Hopefully. Let's see. So we got our chat. Wonderful. How is everybody doing this week? Let me start the recording. It says I'm live. All right. All right. This may be the quickest uptime that I have had. So this week in our Unfcked Weekly, excuse me, this week I still have a cold. I've got this damn summer cold that I've had for over a week that I can't get rid of. And it's driving me crazy. So I apologize if I am coughing and muting myself, but I feel gross. Alrighty. So I wanted to touch on a topic this week. If you received the newsletter yesterday, I was talking about a report that I read about the state of professional services. And, everything, I shouldn't say everything, a lot of what was in that report, I see constantly with clients. So not that it was a good thing, but it confirmed that it's not just my little pocket of the world is experiencing these things. And excuse me, one of the themes that I have been seeing, well, not seeing, but working with clients a lot on recently is managing the intake of work. And I covered that in, let's see, I just have my other screen over here. I covered that in, I think it was week 2 of the Unfcked live stream. And it was one of my most viewed live streams. So I thought I would come back to this. Where was it? Yeah. Episode 2, volume 2, was managing intake request tickets. And I am in the process right now of building at least 2, probably more, 3 intake workflows for clients and 1 for myself. And the one I did for myself, I posted on LinkedIn and I said, hey, I am testing this workflow in ClickUp. It is a form. It's got automations. It's got the new ClickUp agents. And I wanted to cover that because somebody had emailed me and said, this looks awesome. Actually, backtrack. I had, excuse me. Oh, somebody just emailed me and said that the live link isn't working. That is strange. Let's see. Why not? Why not ClickUp? Not ClickUp. Why not YouTube? Why is this not working? Let's see. Content, live, videos. Come on, YouTube. Let's see. Okay. Where's my other thing? Okay. Let's see. I guess let's see. There it is. Okay. Well, let me email my friend who can't get on. Damn, this sucks. Well, friend, here's the link. Let me email it to you. I tested the links. Let's see. All right. Well, I lost my train of thought. That really sucks that it didn't work. I test my newsletter links to make sure everything's working. Anyway, wow, I really lost my train of thought. So, where was I going with this? So I'm building several form intake workflows now. Actually, look, I just got the email on my phone that I am live. Let's see. Let me see if it works. Because I also send a email when I'm about to go live. And oh, it is okay. The email I sent now is working. Okay. Anywho, wow, sorry about that. So, wow, I get distracted so easily. All right, summarize. Intake Workflows was one of my most watched live streams so far. I am building several intake workflows for clients now, one for myself. The one for myself, here we go. I posted on LinkedIn and I said, I would love your help to test to make sure the email automation is working, to make sure that the agents are working. And then somebody emailed me and said, I would love to see how you built that form because the form is so cool. So I'm going to show you how I built the form, this one specifically for me, and I'm going to test the agents live because they're working, but I want to tweak them. And the other workflows I'm building for clients now. Hey, Casey, what's up? So I want to test some agents live because that's what this is for. It's for experimenting and trial and erroring, which the agents really are trial and errors. I've got several and they work for a while and they break, or they seem to work, but every time the agent fires in ClickUp, it gives me a different result, which is really frustrating. So let's get back into what we're actually going to do now. Let me switch some screens, move stuff around. Alrighty. I want to show, I guess I should show what the form looks like in real life. And then I can show you and then I'll show you how I'm going to build it. Let's see. Live stream, share screen. What, my button's not working? Whoa. Me now. Let me know if you can hear me. All right. Thank you for letting me know. For some reason, when OBS glitched out on me, the microphone stopped working. I see the little audio lines moving, so hopefully you can hear me. Thank you for letting me know. I don't know where you stopped hearing me, which sucks, but that's all right. I'll jump into at least what I was talking about here. So, you still can't hear me? Nope. No? Still can't hear me? Oh, man. There you go. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Casey, for the text and the chat. All right. Then let me backtrack. And if I missed it, or if you missed anything because of my damn audio, let me know. But the form, I send this form out when I'm going to have a deep dive call with somebody that wants to work with me. So I send them this. That way they can evaluate themselves. And then I've got a little bit more information about what's going on in their world before we meet. Yay. All right, cool. Thank you, everybody. So the person, Steve, had emailed me and said, this form looks awesome. How do I create this? So, okay, you lost me before I opened that page. So this is my form, and that's why I have this form. So I've got all these cool little icons, and Steve had asked, how do I create this? So that's what I want to show you. And I also want to play with the AI agents because there's so much we can do with ClickUp now to help analyze the information that is sent in the form when it comes through. So let me switch to my demo workspace, and I will show you this. While this is loading, I posted a short on YouTube yesterday about using ClickUp Brain Max. That's this little, I don't know if you could see it. There's like this little weird floating icon that's really, really cool. I may have to do a live stream. Well, I wasn't quite sold on ClickUp Brain Max, but I was tweaking it yesterday. So the forms and agents. So let me show you first kind of what's behind the scenes, and then I can show you how I built the agent. So this was one that I submitted for myself today. This is what the agent is giving me the result on. So it's categorizing for me everything in the diagnostic. Here is the form. So again, I'm going to show you the form, but then I'll show you how to build it from scratch. So here is the form. We build, we've got settings, and we've got a preview. So let me show you first how we're going to build this. And I'll do this really quickly because, again, I covered this in depth in the volume 2 of the live stream, so I can link that to go back and watch it. So this will be more of an advanced tutorial. So let's make a new list here. I'll make a new list, and I'm going to call this, I'll just call it agent form. In my head, I started hearing, I shouldn't sing, I'll scare people away, but I started hearing secret agent man. So the first thing you're going to do in ClickUp is create a list. And then you're going to create a form. Ta-da! I don't usually use these pre-built templates, but I'll just show you one. It gives you a little summary. And you can go with this, but you know me. You know me. I can't do anything that's standard and easy. I got to customize everything. So I back up a little bit. So I'm going to start from scratch. So I will build a very, very, very simple version of the form that Steve had asked to see. So I'll call this Diagnostic. All right. And then if you want to see some pretty things, again, this is just me being extra, but having the, oh no, I don't have it on here. You could put an image up here. You can put images behind it. You can make these really nice now. So here you can type whatever you want to type using the slash commands. That is how you can make headers and bullet points and highlighted areas and things like that. But the first thing, maybe I'll put this side by side with, yeah, I'll do that. I'm going to put this side by side with here so I can see what I'm doing to reproduce this. Go away. All right. So first thing, your name. That is a, excuse me. So one thing to note in the forms is that you need to, maybe not. You need to have the custom fields created before you add them to the form. ClickUp used to give you the option of creating the fields on the fly, and I can't seem to find that. So if it does exist and I can't find it, please tell me. Please let me know. And again, if I'm ever saying something that you think is wrong or that is possible, please call me out. You will not hurt my feelings. You will not offend me. we're all here together learning. So if there's something that I'm saying that's wrong, or you say, hey, no, that actually is possible, please let me know. All right. So I already have this for submitter name. This is a custom field. Then I've got email. So again, I'm just going to type email. Wow, there are way too many email fields. Oh no, look, there is. Create a new field. Look at that. All right, well, I'm just going to use this. This is another reason why maintaining your custom fields is super important. Another field, company name, company. Okay, now you may see, well, not you may see, you do see, I've got this as a single column. These are showing as dual columns. That is in the settings. I do not like the dual columns. So here you can go and turn on one column. Here is where you can customize the button, the background color. You could do a gradient. I've been doing my, background lately, my seamless background pattern that I made. Again, I'm a little extra, but you can put your own colors. So I've got my brand navy color there. So that's going to be my button color. So cool. So let's go back to build. So we've got our company. So then here, some days I feel like I spend hours doing things a trained monkey can do. Some days. So I already have these field created. Now, why is that a text box? That's supposed to be a rating. That is interesting. What does this look like in the preview? Oh, there it is. That's really weird. Huh. And there also should be an option here to edit this field. That is very strange. What's going on, ClickUp? Let me refresh. All right. If you've got a question while I'm going through this, please let me know. Or if I'm going too fast. But, alrighty. Let's see. There we go. So if you want to customize this, we'll click the edit there, advanced settings. So in ClickUp, the ClickUp forms, the normal, I shouldn't say normal, the default emoji type is a star. So maybe I can show you how to create one from scratch. Maybe let's do that. So create a field. This is, I probably should have started here. Let's see. I'll just say how, yeah, I'm really stressed. That could be a question. I'm really stressed. And I want it to be a rating. So then you pick the emoji type. So here, there we go, crying face. And then you pick the scale. Do you want it out of 3, out of 4, out of 5? I don't love that the default here is a 3, because when I went and made this form, I didn't realize it, and I went through and they were all out of 3, and I had to go back and edit all, how many? All 15 questions, which was a pain in the ass, but that's all right. Now I know. So then you can hover over those. It's weird though that it doesn't say it here. So we got hearts, we'll go back to crying. How stressed am I? So that is how you create the field to have those fun emojis. You could just leave everything as a star, but I like to make it fun. So the other thing I did here, in this field, you can also put icons or emojis in the name. So the way I did this diagnostic is there's 3 categories to the diagnostic questions. One is about process, which is the little repeating symbol that's like on a music player. The other category of my diagnostic is regarding project management. So I have a clipboard. And then the other category is decentralization of information. So I think I have a little computer because that's really related to your tech stack. So I'm really stressed. You know, that could be anything, but that could be process. So I made that. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the repeat icon. So that is why I have that. So then you would go through and continue to add your questions. So my next question is our project. See, there you go. You can see that that has the clipboard icon and then finding real information. But then what I did is you can edit how this how the name of the field shows on the form. So I didn't want to put the emoji on the public facing form. I wanted that emoji just for me so I could organize the custom fields on the back end. I didn't necessarily want the person, and if you may complete this form for in real life one day, now you know the secret of how I organize this. But I didn't want it to be very obvious to the person filling this out that this was a process question, that this was a project management question. So you can go in and edit these. So this is telling you here what it's mapping to. Like, for example, the task property task name. I could have this say your name, and it's mapping it to the field for the task name. So you're going to go through here. First, you're going to create all your fields. Then you're going to add them to your form. And then over here, this is going to be your end page. Thank you. Your submission has been received. On my real form, it says something like, check your email for the results. Because the only thing I don't love about this is if you complete a quiz or a diagnostic or an audit on a lot of websites, you immediately get, here's your score. And that's using another software like Typeform, or there's other things like that. And if I'm being honest, I really didn't want to have to buy another thing. There's, again, consolidating your tech stack. I didn't need another thing. Granted, this is kind of jerry-rigged, and you don't get an immediate score, which is kind of annoying, but that is why I created the agent. So if we go back out of here to our list view, excuse me, the list view is going to have anything that's submitted. But now that you know how to create this, let me go and show you. Here, I'll get rid of that, make this bigger. I'll show you the one that I already have made so you could see what this looks like on the back end and the reason behind all of the emojis on the custom fields. So my statuses here are new submission in review, and then I reviewed it with the lead. So I filled this out for me earlier today, and let's see. So here you can see I ordered the custom fields by the category. So our project management, our process, and the tech stack. Submitter, and then here's my other information. Oh, now you got my personal email. I'll get rid of that. That's okay. But now these seem out of order. So, and then I also have an automation that says when the form is submitted, it's going to create a subtask to review this. Because again, I want to take a look at this before I have the meeting with the prospect who wants to potentially work with me. So let's go into, and again, I put this into my demo space so I wasn't in my real workspace. And of course, it didn't copy everything over properly. Let's check the questions. I guess everybody can still hear me. That is super. So going in here, I had questions from a previous diagnostic that I didn't want to use anymore. Oh, excuse me. But I didn't want to delete the fields because I did have diagnostics from leads in the past that I wanted to preserve that data. And I think somebody had asked me that as well, is I want to get rid of fields, but I want to preserve the data. So this is how I've done it, where I just put an X emoji so I know I don't want to use them. And here I'm going to reorder them. This came up in a client meeting the other day where the option to reorder the fields isn't here. I need to put this on my list of things to get in touch with ClickUp about. Because unless you can just click and drag. No. As of a week ago, you used to be able to rearrange these however you wanted. And in my workspace, I've got these arranged with the person's name and email up top. I've got these scores. Damn. All right. Well, I can still work with this. So let me go into my example here. And the columns didn't work right either. All right. So I'm going to get rid of that. I wanted to get rid of these that were old. All right. The closed ones, because these were all old. Let me get rid of those. Enable autosave. All right. So now, let's see. Sorry, I tried to remove last names here. Sorry. Let's see. I'll do that for. Okay. So now let me show you the agents, because that was really the meat and potatoes of what I wanted to get into today. So I have because how should I go about this? If I did not have the agents back in the old days of ClickUp, and back in the old days I mean like 6 months ago, I would have had to go through all of these manually, say, okay, their communication strategies like a broken game of telephone, 5 out of 5. Okay. It's a mystery of who's doing what, 3. Okay, that's not too bad. I would have to go through these manually and see what everything is, kind of type up my summary, and that took a lot of time. So using the agents, I've got, it creates a summary for me, it creates a score, and then it sends an email. And again, this is really out of order. Let me open a new window in my real workspace. And again, I don't want to disclose real client stuff, but I can show you my example here. And fun fact, if I think I've talked with Casey about this, possibly. Sandpiper is it used to be a side hustle. That's what I call my sewing brand. I have an Instagram account for my sewing and crafting things. I thought at one day I would launch that as a side hustle to sew clothes for people, but I sew clothes for myself. But that's still my logo and my branding, which I put on everything, which is fun. I feel like I really should be a branding person at heart, but I'll just apply it to my little things that I do. All right, let me where is this now? All right, filing cabinet, surveys. All right, because again, I want to show you what this looks like for real, because that's really the point. Okay. Man, all right, I can make a new view and filter this. Sorry, I did not have this prepared in advance. Duplicate view, list copy. I'll do filter is status is new submission. I need a canceled. I need a cancel because I've had some of these diagnostics filled out and then the people ghost me for the meetings. And I don't want to call anybody out, but this has happened several times with one person where they schedule several calls with me and then they don't show up. So to you, person, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm blacklisting people. All right. Let's get this up here now. So this is what it looks like in real life. So this is me, Sandy from Sandpiper. New submission. So this is well, let me go into the custom fields that are in order. So I have 3 AI fields. 1 to calculate the project management score, 2nd to calculate the process score, and the 3rd to calculate the decentralization score. This summary field, I'm really not using. It was just a test, but this diagnostic findings is my favorite. This is what summarizes for me what the person filled out. So here is how I have it set up. Again, you've got my email address. Don't email me personally. You know how to find me for work. So what I love is this diagnostic findings. So it says, here are the results. And this isn't working exactly right, but I just want to show you what it's showing me. So it says the results show that the biggest struggles are in the scattered information, which I'm calling decentralization, but scattered information made more sense, I felt like, to explain. So I scored myself a 5 on, I spend half my day playing hide and seek. The tech stack is random apps, and we get a new tool every time we have a new problem. And then I say task management and process are significant pain points. So then I have this ranked in order of what's the highest score. So this is like golf. The lowest score, the better. So scattered information. So this is saying these are the biggest source of headaches for scattered information. And there's 5. I did this. Hello. My first grader could do that better. I have 5 questions per category. So there's a total of 25 points. So 23 out of 25 for scattered information. Now I have what isn't a problem? None. I've got problems everywhere. Task and project management, 18. Now the problem here is with process. Look at this. It's putting the submitter name with a rating into process, which that's not correct. And it's weird is I calculated these manually. Task and PM is correct, 18 points. Scattered information is correct, but process is 16 points. And because I calculated here, it's like 4, 8, 12, and 6 is 20. So it's not even calculating it properly, and it's including fields that don't exist. But this is a really, really, really great summary. And I'll show you the behind the scenes of how that works next. And then I have each of my scores. So here you can see I have these organized. Processes first, process up here, PM second, and then decentralization. So this is telling me it's 64%. So the process score was, that's the one that didn't work right. We'll say, actually, what I found was interesting. It worked correctly here. This calculation is correct, 64%. So if I go here, process, we got 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 4 is 9, plus 4 is 13, plus 3 is 16. So 16. Then if I do the math over here, if I do 16 out of 25 is 64%, which is correct. So I wanted this to give me a relative score, that I wanted to see the highest one as the problem. And I'm realizing that I don't think this is the best way to do it, because it's really not percentage. It's here. It's 16 out of 25 is a score. I need to work on this and refine this. But these numbers are all accurate. So decentralization is the highest. So the reason that this data is super important is when I have that call with the prospect, I'll say, all right, let's go through the diagnostic. This is what you've told me are the biggest problems. So decentralization, tell me about that, right? And then I'll go to the decentralization questions and I'll go, all right, you rated yourself that we get a new tool every time we have a problem, and our tech stack is random apps, and I spend half my day playing hide and seek. Those are 5 out of 5. Let's unpack those. Tell me about those. So this drives the conversation that I'm going to have in the sales call. So having this information at hand, already summarized, has been a huge, huge, huge help. So now let me show you. Now let's go behind the scenes. So if I click into this, let's see. So it autofills when the task is created. Let's see if I can make this any bigger. And I'll move my face because it's going to be on the right. Wow, I look really dark. I don't know. Let's turn up the exposure on my camera. You need to be able to see me. There we go. Cool. So this, maybe I can zoom in. I need to get one of those apps that will zoom in on a particular part of the screen. Actually, I could probably, let's see, if I duplicate this view. Whoa, look at that. It kind of did it for me. It did it for me already. Cool. So this took, I can't even tell you how many iterations of prompting. Where's my notepad? I think I had, and this is a terrible, terrible, terrible example of, or maybe it's a great example of decentralization that it's kind of embarrassing. I should have used a ClickUp doc attached to my task of creating this form, but I didn't. So these were all the different iterations of the prompt that I just copy and, oh, you can't even see that because I zoomed in so far. Well, I'm thinking you're seeing my whole screen. So these were all the iterations of the diagnostic AI field. But anywho, let's go back. So this is how I prompted it. So first, summarize the diagnostic findings in a paragraph, identify the category that indicates the greatest struggles. I say next, indicate strengths, because I don't want to just tell people what they're doing wrong. I also want to tell them like, hey, you're doing really well here. And then I want to find out why is that working well? Because maybe we can tap into that to improve the things that are not going well. So then part of the form is also just an open text box. Tell me more. What else would you like me to know? So then I have taken into account what's in the task description. So then I have third, list the category as a header with a bulleted list. So the total score, source of headaches, what's not a problem, list these in order of highest to lowest. And then here's where I don't know what's going on, because I have the diagnostic questions are. I have task and project management include, and you can actually tag the custom fields in here, which are awesome. So these are all, I told the agent, these are the, well, I shouldn't say it's an agent. These are the AI fields. I told the AI field that these are the fields to take into consideration. Then for process, these are the fields that can, so I don't know why it's pulling the submitter name. And then here is for scattered information. Then what is working, and this is what I really like here. So if we go into PM score, sorry, you can't see that. This is the AI field for PM score. The instructions are, give me a total score based on the diagnostic for task and project management, which includes the following fields. These fields. Now, I give it more instructions. Add the ratings for the custom fields and divide by the total number. If the custom fields are empty, give it a null and exclude from the calculation. So then I give it an example. And then I say display only the final calculation as a percentage. So that, and then I just copy and pasted this for then, if we go to process, now we can see this is the process score. And you can see that I just changed, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why is process giving me project management? That doesn't make sense. I feel like home improvement there. What the hell? Decentralization, and this can't be right because it worked correctly. See? Oh, fuck. This is one of the things I've been saying, that they just break. But it's got to be working because the numbers are calculating correctly. And this is in my real workspace too. It's not even like it copied over wrong. Excuse me. Now I'm curious to see in the demo space, did the instructions copy over correctly? It did not, because the custom, see, this is what's going to suck if I try to templatize this for you guys, is these instructions are not copying properly. Excuse me, I gotta mute myself real quick so I can cough. All right, sorry, that was gross. All right. Man, that sucks. All right, let's go back to my regular workspace. Which one? This guy. All right. So that sucks. But that is how these are calculated, but they're calculating correctly. So, but now I want to test. So let's say if I go into my field or into my task, let's say I'm going to change. So process was the best. So let's go and let's add more. Let's add some more chaos here. You can manually refresh this. So let me go to process and let's manually refresh this and see if it changes. Oh, excuse me. All right, that updated. Now let's go to, now decentralization was one of the ones that, oh no, look in here. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Now it's showing it correctly. All right, well, let's go to decentralization and make all of these 5s. Now, I don't have it in the settings to auto update because in theory, oh my goodness, I just realized that I was still showing the zoomed in version. There we go. Look, so now it's working. Now it's showing me the correct fields. So I apologize if you were still looking at the zoomed in version. So if I go to advanced settings, now let's see. Now, oh, fuck. Well, it's working. So now now I was saying that in theory, these fields should not be updated because the person fills out the form and it's done. But that's why it's cool that you can manually refresh these. So now this should say 100% for decentralization. Now, there we go. Perfect. Now, what I was wrestling with myself this morning Because again, like I said, it's kind of like golf. The lower the score, the better. But I feel like if we are measuring improvement, it's like if we're in school, if you get a 75 on one test and you get a 86 on the next one, you've improved. So I feel like I may need to reverse this scoring because this is showing that you are 100% fucked. And that's what needs the most unfucking. But I may reverse this. So again, it's not a huge deal. Like if I was prioritizing updating this would not be high on the list. No audio again? Oh, there. Are we good? No? Am I good? Hopefully. Let's see. It's back. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Let's see. Oh. See, here's on the back end. See, okay. It says I'm streaming, connecting the stream. That's weird. All right. All right. Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Casey. So again, this would be minor. That's a whole nother thing, talking about prioritizing your work. So I am going to put this on my list. So actually, let me show you that. So if I go to my spaces, I'll go to my Scrum, I'll go to my projects. It really isn't, well, it's a project because it's going to take more than one sitting. So I'm going to go to my backlog that I've got a lot in. I'm just going to add it in the backlog of update diagnostic. Excuse me, update diagnostic for better scoring metrics. I don't know what to call it. So instead of, and this is where Scrum comes in, instead of going and tackling this right now, I'm going to put it on my list and I'm going to give it a really, so this is, it's part of, it's part of, it's not, I guess it's part of the sales process. So here, I'm going to give it a sprint point. We're definitely going off the beaten path here. But my sprint points, here, I'll show you real quick. It's getting dark here. I think it's going to rain. Sprint points, let's see. So if you want to learn more about my Scrum system, I talked about that in a ClickUp webinar back in, was it May or June? And then did a Scrum challenge. So if you're interested in learning more about Scrum, if you're new, that is definitely part of my productivity toolbox, if you will. So the sprint points is how much effort it's going to take to get that done. So I say a small task is 1 to 2 hours, which is a 2-pointer. So I'm going to do that. And then impact. Again, the way I prioritize my work is impact, urgency, and effort. Impact. When I'm talking about impact, I ask myself, what is the impact that this is going to have on my business, or like on my business, like operations wise, or for clients? This is not a huge impact. Like, yes, it's more of a convenience thing. So this is certainly not, like, if I go to impact, like coming up with my sales process, like that I still haven't done, like that is super high impact. Again, urgency, I feel like I need to reevaluate my urgency, because urgency means like it's got to get done now. It's not urgent, but it is super impactful. So I'm actually going to lower the urgency there because an urgency would be something is broken, and if I don't fix it now, it's going to have a much more significant impact. So update my diagnostic. It's not a huge impact at all. To be honest, I'll put it as a 3. Oh, it is raining now. Urgency, again, it's not urgent at all. So I'm gonna put it as a 1, because it's not like I'm meeting with 5 prospects a week. And effort, I try to match effort to my sprint points, but I'll put it as I'll put it as a 3. So then that's going to calculate a score, and then it's going to prioritize all of my things that I can do based on my score. So that was my detour. Excuse me. So let's play with the agents though, because we only have got 15 minutes left. I might go a little over, but that's really what I wanted to play with, because I've got agents that I do need to build, or I'm in the process of building for clients. So I want to test. So I'm going to make a new list here. New list. I'm going to call this, well, WSS is the name of the client. Well, they have a real name. That's their acronym. I'm just going to use their acronym for right now. Alrighty. Sorry if you hear this rain. Summer storms. All right. So, oh my goodness, excuse me. So for this client, in their software development work, they have epics as tasks, which are their highest level of, basically an epic's like a project. Below that, they have features. So let's say, for example, we'll use ClickUp as an example, because I've got a ready example. So within the ClickUp team, because we deal with them a lot, they've got certain people who are in charge of automation, certain people who are in charge of ClickUp Brain, certain people who are in charge of custom fields, things like that. So the epic could be, I don't know, the new AI calendar. So I'm just going to put that. So AI calendar is the epic calendar. A feature could be a feature that they want to work on could be I'll call it auto time block categories, because that's a feature request I have put in. So time block categories. And then they have user stories. So what the hell does that mean? So if you're not familiar with software development and the terminology, a user story would be, you would say, as a user of the AI calendar, I want to be able to have tasks auto-scheduled based on a category I set. So that would be called a user story. So then my client has user stories as nested subtasks. So I'm just going to call that user story. Okay, and I'll call that feature. Just to give you some context. I'm going to call this epic. Okay, EPIC. All right. So what this client wants, so when they're doing their sprint planning, I'm just going to, I'll make a sprint folder. Let's say WSS sprint. Okay, I'm not going to customize anything. I'm just going to make the sprint folder. Awesome. So this is their backlog. So what they want, I'll say epic 2, epic 3. Then I'm just going to put a whole bunch of stuff there. Feature 1, story, I don't know, story 4, just to give these new names. Feature 5, story 7, 8, whatever. So what they want is that, let me show you an example. So here we're going to add the sprint column. I know I'm going really fast here. So if you have questions, throw them in the chat, or you can shoot me an email if you'd like more in-depth answers. So what they want, let me hide these. Is this auto-saved? No. What they're experiencing is that they're only adding the user stories to their sprints. All right, so sprint 1, sprint 1, sprint 1. Because the epic is the project. Like, that's not an actionable thing. And even the feature is not an actionable thing. It's the user story is what they're working on. So now if we go to the sprint, they've got these user stories, but they don't know what epics they belong to. So it is really helpful to be able to know, I have this task, but what project is it a part of? And the one thing I suggested to them is that you could show subtask parent names, but you're only seeing the most immediate parent task name. So even though in ClickUp terms, users AI calendar, I should probably zoom in more. AI calendar is the task, time block category is a subtask, user story is a nested subtask. When we're looking at like this, ClickUp is considering the most immediate task above it as the parent. So we still can't see here what's the epic. So I told them that let's test an agent. Again, I don't know if it's an agent or if it's an AI custom field, but I want to test this out. So if I really get into things, I may go a little bit over, because this is legit work that I'm doing for the client. So I might as well keep working on it. So I'm going to call this epic. So tell the agent how to fill this out. And again, this is where prompting, add more context to your prompt. Okay, this is where prompting, excuse me, where prompting is really important. And I don't know if I'm going to need an agent because ClickUp Brain can help with agents, but here's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to say, see, I only want this filled out for nested subtasks. An agent might be the better way. Well, let's just try this. Say, find the name of the highest level parent task and enter. Oh, wait. Can I do task name? Task name. Ooh, let's try that. Enter the, find the, oh, but no, see, it's going to say, no, shit. It's going to, let's just try this. Because what this is going to do is it's going to find it on the task itself, like the nested subtask. And find the name of the task name of the highest level parent and enter that as text. I'm going to say only do this for subtasks and nested subtasks. All right, let's try. It might not work, but let's create this. Get rid of the assignee, that doesn't matter. And I say, nothing. Thank you. I may have to try an agent. Oh, excuse me. I gotta sneeze again or blow my nose. All right, this doesn't want to work. Actually, I'm gonna expand. Let's try an agent. Agent, manage agents. All right. I have 2. New agent. Cool. So now I'm going to say when a subtask is created. Now, let's see. The client also has task types. So what kind of task types do I have? Users. Aha, look at that user story. Cool. Do I have a task type for a feature? No. And we're going to call this an epic. All right, let's make a new task type real quick. I'll show you how to do that too. Little mini lessons. Okay. Do we have one? Content, resource, request, bug. They also have bugs too. Actually, let's include bugs because, all right, and then task type is going to be feature. Again, because I'm wondering if this could have any context. I don't know. Cool. We'll do a little atom. All right, let's go back. All right, secret agent man. Let's try this again. New agent. Subtasks. I'll say only trigger when the task type is feature or user story. We'll see if that works. What is that? No, that's not going to work. Okay. Now, you can ask ClickUp Brain for help, but I want to try this myself first. Manage tasks and add tool. Create, no. Create tasks, no. All I wanted to be able to do is edit the task. So your role, okay, so I'm going to say, you know what, let's ask Brain for help and see what it gives us. All right, now I wish, oh, you know what? I'm going to use the Brain. Do I have ClickUp Brain Max open? All right, watch this. Using ClickUp Brain Max, which is over here, I have a keyboard shortcut and I'm going to be able to talk to it instead of typing, which saves me so much time. So I'm just going to talk to it like I've been talking to you to see what it can do for me. So I'm going to push my keyboard shortcut and I'm going to talk to it. You're not going to see me typing. In ClickUp, I have epics as parent tasks, features as subtasks, and user stories as nested subtasks. I want to be able to identify what epic the user story and feature is a part of. I'm thinking this could be accomplished by filling out a custom field at the subtask or nested subtask level to pull from the parent task, ultimate parent task name, which is the epic. All right, so then I can paste it. All right, and it refines what I said too, but let's see what it says. Thanks for sharing your use case. Sounds like you want the agent to automatically identify the epic features and populate a custom field with the epic's name. Okay. Trigger. Since you want the agent to act when a subtask or nested subtask is created, the best trigger would be. Okay, I already have that. Cool. Alternatively, you would want the agent to act when a custom field is updated. No. Instructions. You are a task management agent. Your goal is to identify the epic. All right, you know what? Let's just copy this and see if it works. But, all right, so I can leave brain open on the side. All right, so that's kind of weird. All right, let me paste that without formatting. There we go. So you're a task management agent. Follow the steps one by one. Identify the task that triggered the agent. Okay, which is a subtask. Check if the task or check if it's a, oh, okay, cool. If it's a subtask, find the parent's name epic and retrieve the epic name. If it's a nested subtask, find the, oh, look at this. Then find, sweet. Populate the custom field epic. Can I, on the triggering, let's see. These instructions are perfect, but let's see if it actually works. That's the key. So I'm going to rename this agent. What am I trying to say? Name, no, not name. Identify epic for user stories. This is going to be sick if this works. All right, brain, we're going to put you aside. Yeah, I'm going to keep going on this. So if you want, you are more than welcome to stick around. If not, I'm just going to keep talking and keep recording. And all right, I feel like I need to rename this because in the prompt it said it was called epic name. But let's change this to a manual fill. I don't know. Let's try. Now, so the trigger was when a subtask is created. All right, so now let's go create a new subtask. Feature 1. So I'm going to say story 5. Let's see what this may need to be an AI field because actually it said manual fill, but let's see. I'm going to put the comments here because it always posts a comment when the agent fires. Well, let's rearrange that. I have a feeling I'm going to have to make that epic name a AI field, but let's see. And these are things that I used to have to use something like Zapier or Make. Shit, no way. It worked. Oh, that was easier than I expected. No fucking way. Ah! This is total unfiltered me getting very excited when things work. Look at that. All right, what timestamp are we at? 58 minutes. I need to clip this and share it. No way. Awesome. So now this is let's add this to the sprint. Now it should show. Story 5. Epic name. Look at that. Oh, man. See, this is too good to be true because this is going to break at some point. I know it's going to break. Oh, this is awesome. Can I have it? Now, see, because it's not, let's see what happens if I change this to be an AI field. Fill with AI. Update when tasks are created. Okay. Did that not save? And these are the things I say in my head as I'm doing things when I'm not recording. I'm like, did this not save? Let's go to advanced settings. All right. Well, if you're jumping and leaving me, thank you so much for joining. This was fun. I hope you learned a bit. And yeah, if you have questions, shoot me a message. So let's see. Custom instructions, save. So now is this an AI field? I hope so. Ah, no. What do you mean? Go back. Save. What the hell? All right. I may have to come up with a new field. What are all these errors I'm getting? All right. Maybe I'll make a new field. I'll just call it epic. Custom text. Epic. Autofill existing tasks. This will... Oh, I wonder if I can copy. Where's my brain? Where is my brain? That's a really great question. Where's my history? See, now I'm wondering if this could be an age. Let's see. Or maybe I could say this field will be completed when it's triggered by an agent. I know this might completely fuck it up, but let's try. Create. Let's try. Because if this works, that would be something else. This task is, oh, look at this. This task is not, well, it is a subtask, but that's okay. All right, let's go back to the agent. Now I want to make a new agent though, because I don't want to screw up the one that I know works. I'm going to call this V1. Duplicate this guy. What did I call it? Like identify, find epic name V2. That's fine. Okay. But now I want to tell it to populate the custom field epic. Now I'm curious to see what happens. All right. Copy this. Copy that. V2. Alrighty. Now. So now let's make a new, let's make a new feature and see what happens. Feature, let's start running out of options here. Feature, and then we'll do story 98. Okay, now let's see. Might take a second. Let's see which one it populates. Because I told the new, oh wait, but now we have both agents running. They might get into a fight. Wait, did I turn one off? No, they're both there. What? And why it says 5? Oh, see, this is what's weird too, is action. There we go. Launch AI agent set custom field. All right. We'll just do launch agent. That's why there's 5. But why is it only showing me 1? Story. There's no epic found. Ah! All right. So we can't have this. Sweet. I'm so excited. I'm going to just delete that field then. Or let's see. So it says there is no epic found. Yeah. Because it's conflicting information. Sweet. All right. And again, why is it only showing 1? Okay. No, that's fine. Turn off this guy. Wow, this is so awesome. So it's now I'm wondering though if story 99. I'm wondering if I can get it to work for features too. Maybe that's what I can do in the background. Maybe I'll turn back on this one. So I'm going to say identify epic for features. Turn that guy on. They say feature. Your attachment, your goal is to identify and features. Okay. If this is, all right, check that the task is a subtask. Okay. I don't need these ifs. Actually, no, I'll say, all right, Find the parent task, populate the custom field epic name on the triggering task. Awesome. Okay. Save. Now I'm wondering if I go to here and I say only trigger if the task type is user story, wondering if it'll break it. But let's see. Huh. Epic name. Let's do new feature 8. We'll do story 45, story 46, story of the year. All right, speaking of story of the year, I've noticed, so I don't know if you've noticed, but I always wear a band t-shirt when I do videos. And I've noticed a lot of them are gray. I need some new shirts, but I've seen story of the year twice, and I think we're going to see them in October for my birthday. I'm super excited. All right. Oh, look at that. Epic 3. And let's see. Sometimes it takes a little while. Play some Jeopardy music. Da, da, da. That is really cool. All right. So the features. Oh, but see, I said if it's a task type feature, and I didn't even set the task type. See, that's even cooler. All right. If you're wondering, I talk to myself all the time. And then my husband gets mad when I don't answer him because he thinks I'm talking to myself. Yeah, and I didn't even select these for task type. User story, boom. Okay. I'll see now these aren't working. But see, why is it only saying we got one agent? So what did I do? Follow the steps. It's still epic name. Let me do a reload. Well, at least this is a great start. I think the customer will be very happy. And I love this, that I get to do double duty. I get to share something with you, and I get to knock out some client work. That didn't work. Maybe it's got to take some more time. Let's do one up here. Story. So what else do I want on the time block features? I don't know. Story 56. We'll just add some more. So then if I go back to our sprint, now here is the oh, see, I didn't add those other tests to the sprint. Because now I want to see if why'd my add to sprint button go away? It is there. The hell? Oh my God, it's right there. Add to sprint. Add to sprint. Okay. Pick 3. Did this one work? Oh, come on. See, why is it not working? All right, well, now here's what I want to test. Normally, you can't group by an epic, or you can't group by a text field. Let's see if that's still... Yes, shit. You can't group by a text field. I didn't want to make this a drop down because they've got like 80-something epics, and you would have to manually add that as an option to each... you would have to manually add every time you have an epic, manually add that. Damn it. Let's see. I can probably sort it though. I don't even think I can do a filter. Oh, filter name contains. Okay. So I can sort them at least. It's not as easy as grouping by, or it's not as convenient as grouping, but it works. Now see why is it not? Oh, see now it's showing that we have 2 agents. I didn't do anything different. I mean, actually, I did now see, I did say only trigger when is, but I didn't even have the task type set, which was so bizarre. Only trigger. Man. So here's here's the variables that I changed. I changed that, but then I also, or maybe because this wasn't set to be a user story. Now before, these were not a task type of anything. Man, it was working. Story 47. I'm going to rename these so it's easier to find. User stories. User stories. Identify epic. Oh, there's some thunder. And this is feature. Identify epic for feature. Oh, come on. It was working. Where's Brain? Should I copy exactly what Brain said? Did I mess with something? Location trigger. Yeah, see, maybe I can just remove that condition. Let me copy this again because this worked really well the first time. And this is why I said I had this notepad doc up, because when I was doing this in my workflow, I didn't, if something worked and I broke it, I wanted to have the exact text that worked so I could just grab this and replace it. User stories. All right, I'm going to clear that out. Whoa. It's weird that this then made bullet points. Whatever. I'm going to get rid of that. I don't know. Let's see. Story 48. All right. Well, at least I know it worked initially. So maybe I'll go and try the other agent that I wanted to try. I'll give that a minute. Or maybe I can try a new epic. If I make epic 4. Epic 4. I'll just try to make it consistent. Feature 4. Feature 4. And then I'll make user story 4.0. Let's see what happens. Story 5. Oh, all right. That worked. It just took a little bit of time. Cool. Yay, I'm going to add this one to the sprint. Let's see. All right, cool. Cool. And we just can't refresh this. So that's what's going to suck, is we're going to have to, I wonder if you can bulk select naming things. Custom fields, epic name. Oh, and okay. So at least for them doing this retroactively, they can bulk do that. So, all right. So I know it works now. Awesome. So we still have the feature here. So we've got the feature as a breadcrumb, and we've got that. All right. Awesome. That works. Cool. Then since I'm on a roll, you know, I will, yeah, perfect. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. Let me pause very quickly because I need to. Oh no, my husband's golfing right now and it's thundering. And my parents have boys. Let me check in and see how they're doing, because they were possibly going to come back early and go swimming, but it's raining. Okay, cool. I need to charge my phone. So let me do, all right, I'm going to do, why not? I'll do the next one. That's my other client. Why not? I'll keep recording. You guys are here. So I'll keep going. Okay. Create fields, autosave. So this one I need to pull in some custom fields. Yes, I need 2 lists. PG, I'll call this one PG1, and I'll do PG2. Actually, first let me add some custom fields, and then I'll explain. So for this use case, ClickUp demonstrated this in a feature fest, and I can't figure out how to recreate it. So ClickUp did a feature fest about agents with a CRM. And what the CRM did was when tasks moved from list to list, it brought, or tasks didn't move from list to list. Tasks were created based on a trigger, and then fields were carried over. And I can't get it to work. So list settings, custom fields. Let's see, let's add some existing. So my client is using this also, not as a CRM, but like for employee records. So do I have any address fields? Address, add. Oh, see, I hate when it does that. All right, address, let's say phone number, add. Okay, then that's all. That's all we need to, that's all we need for this. Or maybe we can do start date, because are they hired? We have create new field. They want this as a custom date field for the date that the person, like what was their hire date, or like that's the first start date of the employee. All right, so this is going to be, I'll call this is going to be Jackie employee. Jackie. All right. I like to work out of this view for most of. All right, let's see. Address. We'll go 123 Main Street in Manahawkin. Sure. Phone number. 555-123. Da 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 da. What? It's not a real phone number? All right. 609-123. Da 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 da. Come on. How does it know it's not a real phone number? It is a legit. Oh, 609. I'm not putting my. Well, you know what? You can, that's my WhatsApp number. You can text me. Hire date. Let's say I was hired on this day. So what all right, so now let me duplicate this list. PG2, duplicate. Let's see. Huh. So I asked my parents how the boys are doing. They said alive and eating ice cream. Well, that sounds good. All right, so now what we want to happen is when, let's say, so for this example, PG1 is going to be the onboarding workflow. So they are onboarding a new hire. So all the things, HR has to get all their paperwork, IT's got to set up all their accounts, background checks, things like that. But they have all this information from the person's application. But once I'm just going to make this complete. So in their workflow, once the status changes to complete, meaning their onboarding is complete and they are now officially an employee, they want an employee card, was what they're calling it, created. So they're using ClickUp like a Rolodex of all their employee information, contacts, shirt sizes, birthdays, personal emails. If they give the employee an iPad for being out in the field, like the serial number for the iPad that's assigned to them, all sorts of stuff. But they don't want to have to bring all this information over. So we've got Jackie. Let me make a new task that's not Jackie. All that. Actually, you know what? No, I'm just going to rename this guy. I'm going to rename this one. Oh, come on. Jackie 2. So now for this agent, I'm going to use the ClickUp brain again to help me out. So when a task, so the trigger is going to be when the status changes to complete. All right. And again, I've prompted this many times and I have not gotten it to work correctly. So I'm going to use brain for help because that's what it's there for. And I'm going to talk to it. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So the main goal of the agent is to create a new task in a new list and bring over some of the custom fields. The status changes to complete and a new task should be created in the PG2 list. I need the custom fields from address, phone, and to be copied to the brand new task. Now, problem with this is, I'm going to copy this because I need to go back out. I shouldn't say a problem. Save and close. Discard. Here we go, hire date. So the problem is that they don't want all the fields to come over. So they don't want, let's see, I'm going to create a field called stage. So one of the fields they have is, here you go, is the stage of the onboarding. So whether it's before their first day, things that have to be done the day of, things that have to be done their first week. So they track the person's onboarding by the stage they're in. So the reason why they don't want to just duplicate this task, excuse me, is because some of these fields are only relevant during the onboarding process. They're not relevant once onboarding is complete. So I'm just going to call this onboarding. Oh, excuse me. Onboarding, and I'll call this employee. Oh man, excuse me. I gotta mute myself again. So they don't want the stage to come over, because then it would just be a really simple automation of duplicate the task, but I don't want to duplicate the task. So let's try this agent again. New agent, just happen on a task, not when the task is created, when the status changes to complete. Okay. Now let's paste those. Actually, let's ask Brain for help again. Oh man. So the main goal of the agent is create a new task in the onboarding. No, I'm sorry, the employee list. Bring over some of the custom fields. The status, when the status changes to complete, a new task should be created. All right, in the employee list. I need the custom fields. Let's say address, say phone, and hire date to be copied to the new task. I'll say only. And let's see what this does. I'm gonna mute myself again. All right, let's see. Thanks for sharing. Okay. Don't you want the agent to act when the status changes? Okay, yeah, this would short. Okay. Oh my goodness, I'm so Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I feel like it's the middle of winter right now. All right, follow these steps. Check if the status is complete. Create a new task and copy from the original task. Ensure the new task is created. Include. Okay, well, let's give this a try. Tools. Create task. Okay, knowledge. This always is enabled. Okay, content in the employee list. Okay, final configuration. Tools. All right, next steps. Cool. All right, let's paste that. I actually do a Control-Shift-V so I don't paste the formatting. Okay, so now I need, excuse me, I need onboarding. I also need to add the new list, employee list. Okay, cool. It says include ChatGPT. Awesome, perfect. Okay, add tool, manage tasks. I also need to be able to create tasks. So we need to create. Oh, cool. So select the task to create the list in. Employee, perfect. Okay. Cross our finger. Oh, actually here. No, not just tasks. Okay, create and save. So I'm just going to call this copy employee info. All right, let's give this a try. I'll say if this works, I'm going to be beyond ecstatic. Complete. Well, now it's hidden. Now, again, the agents take a little bit of time. I technically, oh, excuse me. Sometimes automations fire quicker than agents, but see, this still says new. Damn it. I mean, it still referenced this. I mean, that's pretty cool. But, oh, and we made a relation. No shit. It added a relationship automatically? Oh, this will be a real game changer. I wonder if I can, because this can be done with a regular schmegular automation. I wonder, though, if I can have an agent in this space to say, from the task description, extract that and put it into the, let's try that. New agent. So now this is going to say, new agent, trigger when a task is created. It should be from an automation, but I'm just going to leave it. Launch agent. Okay, so I'm going to say, all right, let's just go to Brain for Help again. Tasks in this list are created by an agent in another list. Custom fields from the originating task are added to the task description. I need the agent to extract the information from the description and put it in to custom fields. Here are specific examples. The address is put into the description. Extract the address, put it into the address custom field. Extract the phone number from the task description, put it into the phone number custom field. And extract the hire date from the task description and put it into the hire date custom field. Paste. All right, let's see what that does. Thanks for sharing. It sounds like you, okay. Trigger, task created. Every time the task is created and is configured, here are my instructions. Why does it give me this summary? Like, I just need... All right. Shift, paste. All right, let's see this. Follow these steps one by identify and extract from the description. Populate the extracted information into the corresponding custom fields. Oh, man, this would be crazy. All right. Extract data from description into custom fields. Okay. Now, so now we need a new task. Duplicate this. Oh, excuse me. Actually, put it back to in progress. Now I'll duplicate it just so we can give it a new name. Duplicate Jackie 3. No, I didn't mean to send notifications, but that's okay. Copying task. All right. Now I'm wondering if we go back to here, are any of these? All right, I'm going to keep adding features here to see. Story 4.1, story. So let's let this agent run in the background while we're working on this agent. Or I wonder if I can also have the agent say, or have the agent just look at the, all right, I want to duplicate this too. Duplicate in the current location. All right, so this is not when the task is created. Can I do when the task description is updated? How about when the task is updated? When due date changes, task management, task name changes, assignee added, task linked, integrations. I'll just say anytime the task is updated. Oh, wait. No. No, go back. Go back. What the hell? That's not what I want. Discard changes. Oh, sweet. Description. Um, summary. No. Oh, that's not going to work. All right, cancel that. That's so weird, though. All right, anywho, let's just try this. Onboarding, Jackie 3, complete. Now that is sick because you can't create relationships in a form, but all right, let's see. Jackie 3. All right, so this worked. Now we've got this. Now let's see if relationship. Let's see if it pulls it, or maybe just link tasked. Or did this create an actual like custom relationship? References. It's called a references. All right. Well. All right. This is still thinking. Wait, I just thought I just saw something happen in the activity view. AI agent set hire date. Oh my. Houston, we have landed. All right. Wow. Well, we are now 30 minutes over. Oh, we got another viewer. Hey, this is awesome. All right. I think this was the only agent that I think this was the second agent that I needed. All right. It looks like it's still thinking on the address field. But you know what? This is still really awesome. All right. Whew. Cool. Well, let's see. Hello. Oh, we got a new friend joining. Hello. Hello. Let's see. Well, we got friends from another company I work with. We're working on agents. And we've gotten some agents to copy information from task to task, which has been fantastic. All right, I'm going to summarize because we are 30 minutes over, but that's okay because I got to share some cool stuff. I got to do work on client work live and kind of share the behind the scenes process, which has been awesome. Let's see. All right, let me try one more. Let's try one more. So now we're going to do, all right, the name of the person who's here is the company name. So I don't know who that's going to be. Let's see. I'm going to do, that's going to be my person name, based on the person who joined. And their address is going to be, let's say 123 Main Street in, oh my God, they're going to shoot me if they're not in, I'm pretty sure you guys are in Minnesota. You're going to shoot me if I have that wrong. It's Joe. Hey, Joe, what's up? Let's see. That's okay. Let's go. We'll go in New York. Or we'll go 123. We'll say Ocean Ave. We'll pretend we're in the, at the beach. Rhode Island. Sure. Why not? Sure. 201, 123. Da, 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 da. Cool. And the hire date is going to be August 1st. And it did not copy over this. Perfect. So now let's try. It didn't seem to bring over the address field, but let's try. So we're going to change this to complete. So for Joe who just joined, this workflow was for or is for a client who is managing their new employee onboarding, and they have a form, so they fill out, they get all the information, their address, their phone number, their hire date, they track the stage, and then subtasks are all the things they need to do to onboard that a new employee. So doing background checks, sending offer letters, assigning them a laptop, getting all their accounts set up, things like that. And then from there, they want to take that employee onboarding task and create an employee record. So they're using this like a HubSpot, but for tracking their employees. And then this becomes the source of truth for the employees. They track any certifications the employees get. And again, their birthdays, reminders to, all that sort of stuff. so they didn't want to have to manually, they wanted to bring some data over, but not all of it, because they don't need the onboarding stage once it's a new employee. So we're trying to copy all of this, I shouldn't say all, we're trying to copy some of the information over using an agent. So let's change this to complete and let's see what happens. And it takes a minute. I need to get some Jeopardy music to cue up. And if this works, I'm going to call it a day. At least for the live stream. All right, cool. So now, for my any new viewers here, this was the first agent. When the status changes to complete, you are an automation agent. Your goal is to create a new task in the employee list. So I have followed these steps. Copy the following information from the original task. And then ensure the new task is created. It includes, okay, maybe this is where I went wrong because it's putting it in the task description. I want it to ensure the new task is created and includes, okay, I'm going to make a new thing here. So this is going to be 5. No, what the hell? 5. No, 5. Cool. So now I'm going to say, once the task is created successfully, see, I don't know what wording to use here. I'm going to say map the custom fields from the original task to the same custom fields in the new task. All right, this is probably what we post a comment on the original task confirming. Okay. Okay. Now let's try this. So now we're creating the new task here. We're managing save because it wasn't copying it correctly. What was happening here was that it put the fields into the task description. I wanted it here. So then I created a second agent where I said, excuse me, extract the data or read the task description, identify and extract this information, then populate the corresponding custom fields. It's not pulling the address properly, but maybe with that change to the original prompt, maybe this will work. Because then there's more stuff you got to maintain. All right, so see, this worked, but it's still not pulling the address field, which I'm not sure why. Let's see. Okay. All right, let's try one more with this new prompt. Actually, so now I'm going to disable this agent and see if this new agent works. Oh, and here, let me show you real quick too. I thought was really cool was I didn't even tell it to do this, but it linked the original task, which was awesome. So it says refer to the original onboarding task for more details, which is awesome. So if you want to go back and see what happened during the onboarding, it's automatically linked, which I think is really damn cool. All right, now let's try one more. All right, we'll go to Tony Stark, one of my go-to examples. So Tony Stark is going to be, I don't know, come on, 100, I don't know, Broadway in New York. He's in New York somewhere. New York. Okay, cool. 201, da 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 da. Okay, and he was hired a long time ago. We'll just do that. Okay. Let's see if Tony Stark is carried over. Let me just double check this. Map the custom fits. Okay. Again, I never know what wording ClickUp needs for it to work properly, but I did use the brain help, which was awesome. So if we say go to new agent, I said ask brain for help, and then I just talked. I hit using ClickUp Brain Max. I just talked to it and told it what I wanted to do and just regular old conversation, and it generated the prompt to put here, which was so awesome. All right, let's see. Tony, all right, now let's see. It may take a little bit of time. The agents are very slow. This task was created automatically. Refer to the original onboarding details. Okay. So I'm going to give this a minute and see. If it doesn't work, we're going to have to use this kind of piggybacking of agents. But at least it's, oh, look, there's a little star here now. That's new. Add to sidebar, pin to top. All right, all these new thingies here. Look, oh, it did it. It did it. Sweet. So we don't need that piggybacked automation. Or I'm sorry, agent. Perfect. All right, we got to figure out the address, but that's all right. Awesome. And I can't get the column for here, but all right, I'm going to wrap it up and call it a day. That was